Hi, everybody. Welcome to God's Corner. We're going to go to Bioheads and play. God, we come to you today to show you, to communicate with you, and ask for forgiveness for our sins and our trespasses against you. And I pray to you that you give us your grace and your worldliness and everything like that. Everything. You deliver us from sin and everything like that. I pray to you that you help us through moments where we have no idea where we're going to go or how we're going to do things. I pray to you that you show us the way to your heart and the way to your will. I pray to you that you help us through hard times and good times. I pray to you that you help us with our family issues and mental, physical, anything like spiritual, anything that we're going through right now. I hope pray to you that you help us through those times and show us guidance and how to do the things properly and how to show them love and everything like that. I pray to you to heal us if we're feeling sad, depression, anxiety, anything like that. Pray to you that you heal us from that. I pray for you, anyone who's watching this right now. I pray for them, anything they're going through. I pray that you help them through it. I pray to you if anyone's having trouble sleeping at night. I pray to you that you help them through it. Heal those demons that are keeping them awake. And if someone's going through, I pray to you um that you help them. I pray to you to just help us, help the world, help the world come see you, help them come know you, help people see the grace of your grace of you, everything. I pray that you help these words, these God's corner, get to the right people who need to hear it, who don't know who you are, and maybe they come to you, they see these and they want to give your life to them. If anyone gives your life today, help them do that transition and give them your life. In Jesus' name, Amen. So we're gonna. My microphone is working, right? Okay. I was like, oh, I thought it wasn't working. So we are gonna be reading 29 and 30 today. Oh, I guess I accidentally deleted my window capture apparently. No, no, not game control. Oh, hold on one second. I need to hang on. Come on, come on, go down, go down. Hi. All right. Oh, that's not even. Hold up. This is bit discreet. There we go. All right. This is Job's final defense. Ah, my ear's itchy. So itchy. How I long for the month gone by, for the days when God watched over me, when his lamp shone shone on my head, and by his light I walked through darkness. Oh, for the days when I was in my prime, when God's infinite friendship blessed my house, when the Almighty was still with me, and my children were around me, when my path was drenched with cream, and the walk poured out for me streams of olive oil. When I went to the gate of the city and took my seat in the public square, the young man young men saw me and stepped aside, and the old men rose to their feet. The chief men refrained from speaking and covered their mouths with their hands. The voices of the noble were hushed, and the tongues stuck out the roofs of their mouths. Whoever heard me spoke well. Those who saw me commended me, because I rescued the poor who cried for help, the fatherless who had none to assist them. The one who is dying blessed me. I made the widow's heart sing, put righteousness on my clothing. Justice was my robe and my turban. I was eyes to the blind, feet to the lame. I was father to the needy, took care of the stranger, broke the fangs of the world. I took I took I took up the case of the stranger, and broke the fangs of the wicked, snatched the victims from their teeth. I thought I will die in my own house. My days are numerous and great as the grains of sand. My roots will reach to the water. The dew will lie all night on my branches. My glory will not fade. The bow will not ever be will, will be will ever be new in my hand. People listened to me expectantly, waiting in silence for my counsel. After after I had spoken, they spoke no more. My words fell gently on their ears. They waited for me as for showers, and drank in my ward as spring rain. When I smiled at them, they scaredly believed scarcely believed it. The light on my face was precious to them. I chose the way for them, sat as their chief, and ruled as a king among his troops. I was like one who comforts monarchs. Right. That's 20, not 30. Apparently, now they mocked me. Younger men, men younger than I, whose fathers I would have distrained, distra- di- dis, yeah, disdain for my sheepdogs to put with my sheepdogs. What used, what use was the strength of the hands to me, since the vigor had gone with them, from them. Haggard went from want and hunger. They roamed the parched land and desolate wastelands at night. In the brush they gathered salt hobs. In the food, I was the root of the bloom, boom blush. They were banished from human human society. Shouted as if I were the thieves. They focused to live in the dry streams beds among the rocks and the holes in the ground. The They brayed among the bushes and huddled in the undergrowth. Base and nameless road. They were driven out of the land. On the way up to see me, I felt that, honestly. I'm tired. It does not make it any better. And those young men mock me in a song. I have become a byword among them. They detest me, keep their distance. They do not hesitate to spit in my face. Now that God has unstrung my bow and afflicted me, they throw off restraints in my presence. On my right, the tribe attacks. They lay snares for my feet. They build the siege ramps against me. They break up my road. They succeed in destroying me. No one can help them. They say they advance as through gaping breach. Among Mid the ruins they're rolling in. Tales overwhelm me. My dignity is driven away as by the wind. My safety vanishes like a cloud. Not really too bad. I I usually have I'm always saying the players, but for some reason today it was short. And now my lives ebbs away. Days of suffering grip me. Nice pierces my bones. My gawing my gawing pain never rests. And his power becomes like clothing to me. Oh, sorry. His great power, like God, becomes like clothing to me. He binds me like the neck of my garment. He throws me into mud, and I am reduced to dust and ash. I cry out to you, God, but you do not answer. I stand up, but you merely look at me. You turn on me ruthlessly. With the might of your hand, you attack me. You snatch me up and drive me before the wind. You toss me about in the storm. I know you will bring me down to death, to a place appointed for all living. Surely no one lays a hand on the broken man when he cries for help and is in distress. I have not wept for those in trouble. Has not my soul grieved for the poor? Yet I have hoped for good. Evil came when I looked for the light. Then came darkness, and and crawling inside me never stops. Days of suffering confront me. I go ahead and blackened, blackened, but not by the sun, but not by the sun. I stand up for assembly and cry out for help. Cry for help. I become a brother of jackals, companion of owls. My skin grows black and peels. Body tones with a fever. My Larry is tuned to mourning. My pipe is sound of wailing. I'm just, uh, see, normally I have something to talk about when it comes to this. I do. But today, I don't know. I feel like there's nothing I could talk about. Like, it feels like there's nothing that I really have that I can talk about. But I'm trying to like think of something that I could talk about. Like, I'm gonna be sitting here for like a second here trying to remember. Like, I know that what we just read is Job giving us final defense to people like, to God and to people who's like listening. Um, I know that for I know that. So him doing that is him like you know giving his final defense to people and stuff like that. Um, he's saying that he feels like God's hands out against him when it's not. He just like he's God's just testing his faith when it comes to it because he said he's blameless and upright with God. So God let the devil afflict him with sores and let him take away his family, his house, his everything. And I feel like we all can relate to Job sometimes when it comes to like when we feel like we're gonna lose everything. So we kind of like we just when we read the Bible like you know the Bible, especially Job, that's one that helped me a good bit when I was going through when I feel like we're losing everything in my life. When we lost where we were living, when we had to move out, and then other stuff happened where we had to move from that place. I was like, okay, and then we had to think. Then my sister moved out because we couldn't exactly afford it, so she had to move out, and then I was like, okay, well, where am I gonna go? Because my mom had a place to go. I didn't. You know, I was gonna be on the streets pretty much, like my personal self. Like I was gonna, and then I went with my mom, obviously, and then now we're here. Now we're having difficulties. We're still having difficulties paying rent. It's a little bit better. There's only two people. It's nice, but like faith in God. That's like I keep telling my mom. We just have to just having faith in God and all good stuff. Half of me wish I would have taken that offer to go to Florida. But at the same time, I don't think that's where I was supposed to go at the time. Um, God's will is something, you don't want to test because he will make it happen. He will show you otherwise. That's where you're supposed to go. And I do believe that, he definitely will make it happen no matter what, no matter where you are in your life. He will make it happen. And he will make you like, oh wait, no, maybe no, maybe I was supposed to be that like right there and then, like you'd be like, whoa, okay. He will make you see it. That's the one thing about guys. Like no matter if you way from his path, he will still get you to where he wants you to go. Which is fantastic. God is one of those people. He's that person that can turn your life around. You know, it's really cool, especially when you get like the passion for God, when you like the passion for want to read his word wake up every day and say I believe in God. Like that's something that we all should be proud of is saying that I believe in God. And it shouldn't be one of the things that we're just gonna like dismiss like oh whatever. It should be something that we should be ready to proclaim to the world like hey I believe in God and I'm happy about it. I'm okay with it because we all should be okay with believing in God because we shouldn't be disgusted by believing in God. That shouldn't be what we should be. We should be absolutely proud and in in moments where we're like when someone's having a hard time we should be like God's a good God. That's how I got there. God. If they say whatever, okay. Don't fight with them. It like tells us in the Bible, don't argue with foolish people. Like and if someone insults you, don't insult them back. Don't fight fire with fire. Don't fight evil with evil. Because it just, there's no point in it. You're fighting a foolish battle with foolish people who have closed minds and hardened hearts. And it's something very nice too when you're able to. Like every single time that I'd wake. That's crazy. Like hardened hearts are something that God hardened the leader Egypt's. Oh my heavens! Man, I need to go on my hold up. Hold up. Thanks for sharing that. And sometimes I feel like we're losing everything we had. Honestly, it just makes me more grateful for what I have and I have and to get what to do. When I was younger, my dad kicked out my mom and me and my sister, and we were just with clothes wearing. We were wearing no money, caught everything. At this time, my mom turned to God to help us. See, I love that. I do like when you know I do. Like it's a poopy situation. And I'm sorry that happened. That I know that had to suck. You know, like that had to suck. I cannot imagine how you were feeling and how, your mom was feeling and your sister and everything like that. And just to clear things up, I don't do Christian practice really, but deep down, I know I still have that belief in me. But I think I need to push to get back into it. Yeah, I honestly, that's fair. A lot of people, hi Elias. I see. Here's the thing, Mika. I was the same way. I when I was younger, maybe at the moment I'll be looking. You're good. Now, believe it or not, for how what I'm doing now, I was the same way. When I was about, let's say, trying to think of good. I'm trying to give you like a good timeline. Let's go like 13 years old, so about 2014 to 2016. Let's do 2014 to 2016, so about 3 years and up. For the longest time, when I was 13 years old, I some things happened in my life where I was pushed to my limits, where I was told that I made someone take their life, and I had people message me on a daily about maybe 20, 100 messages a day on Discord and Skype combined, and Snapchat also. And I was added to this group chat where people pestered me constantly about saying it was my fault, I'm a horrible person, and all that good stuff. And where this is going, I'll let you know. You'll see in a minute. And they kept pestering me over and over again. I kept getting messages and DMs and DMs and DMs saying all this stuff. And my thoughts in your mind, for some reason, went to the thought of killing myself. So this has a happy ending, I promise you. And with the moment where I thought that moment, I bought my phone. I started writing a message to my mom and my sister that was in the house at the time. It was maybe about 12, maybe like 3 o'clock in the morning, maybe something like that. And out of my, for some reason, out of, I grabbed a knife out of the knife drawer and I held it to my wrist. I did. I held it. I put pressure on it, and I'm surprised I don't have a scar on my right wrist from it. On my left, I don't. It was either my right wrist or my left wrist. I don't really remember. And here's where it gets good. So I had it on my wrist, right? Now I was gonna, you know, like I was gonna like fool on, but I heard a voice call out to me and saying, "Don't do it," and call your friend, call someone. Don't, don't do this. Don't do this by yourself. Don't, don't sit here and be in your thoughts anymore. So I call my best friend, one of my best friends, Damon. Unfortunately, we don't talk that often anymore, but he's still my best friend. One of my best friends, I should say. And he talked to me for I don't even know how long. He talked to me for a good while, and we talked. We did. Now he told me to call my mom and my sister, and I did. I called them down and I told them, what happened. Did I tell them I was gonna, you know, end myself? No, I didn't feel like that was necessary, but maybe it was. So basically, what I'm saying is, God saved me from being here today. Like if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't be alive today. I really wouldn't. I would probably be s- in the grave with my father next to him, most likely. You know, God does walks in mysterious ways. He puts you to different like experiences to show you. That's what he. The way he wants you to go. And like he's definitely going to show you in different ways how he's gonna walk in your life. If you ask him to walk, he will walk. You know, he will. One thing that people do is they test God a lot. They test him a lot, and you shouldn't. You shouldn't test God because he will. He trust me. He will show you otherwise if you test him. You know, don't test him. Pretty much what I'm saying is like don't test God because he will put you to the test if you ask him to. He will put you to the test. You don't go and mock your boss because he has power over you, right? Don't do that with God either, because he will show you otherwise. He will, ooh, my heavens. Ooh, boy. He will show you something that you thought you never would see in your life. You know? Don't, just don't do something stupid that's gonna, see you not in favor of God. Because a lot of people do, unfortunately, sometimes. So that people get these negative thoughts of doing such at a young age. But I know sometimes he knows us humans and need experience something like that very scary tornus, a bad tornus to him. And if that's what it takes for us to see him, and we'll do it. The worst part about that is that after that, I still wasn't in Christian ways. I was still swearing. I was still doing things that were ungodly, and I was still surrounded by people with bad people and who were still not the best people for me, and I still wasn't godly, but I didn't really turn to God until 2021 or 2022. 20 No, I would say I don't know, man. I would say more recently. I would say more recently, maybe like maybe like December or January after when I found Hannah's Community, that's when I really started turning back to God, you know? Because I really like really reading in his word. Like I always believed, I've always had God in my life, but like I wasn't really living a godly way. And now I look back at it, I'm like, man, that could have been different if I was living this way, you know? But like at the same time, I had to go through that to, get to where I am now. Honestly, I wouldn't be here if I hadn't met Damon when I did. I don't share the story what I did or what was happening with me, but before I met Damon, if I kept doing what I was doing, I never met Damon. I know I would not be here today. Getting well, I'm glad you're here, Mika. That would have sucked. That's a fortunately a very scary. It's a very scary world that unfortunately exists in this world. You know, if I could stop it, I would. That's something that I feel like this world does not need. And unfortunately, where I live, it's a really big issue. Georgia is a really big issue with that, and it's really everywhere. We have signs everywhere on the saying that yeah, be careful of these type of people. If you see this, call the cops. It's a very scary world out there, and especially stuff like that. And I cannot. It honestly, I get so mad when I think of people doing that. I really do. I really like. I really do. Like it pisses me off. It really does. People who have those thoughts of doing that thing is no. That's disgusting. I can't. No. It baffles me that people have ever thought about doing that in my life. It just baffles me. I can't. It. I don't get mad either. I just don't like people who do bad things. It doesn't sit right with me. I don't like people who done bad things. I really don't. It just I sometimes I wish God would come sooner, just so all this suffering would just end. All the people who have done bad things would just end. You know, because when God comes, all this pain and suffering is gonna go away for those who are white with God and going to heaven. All that like with all the stuff going on in the world, man. It's a scary place to go. With the wars breaking out, the especially Israel going on right now. It's a scary place. It's a scary thing. It's a very scary thing to think about. With all the things going on and stuff like that, my nose is itchy. It's a scary world out there. It really is. It's just something else. You don't really think about it, really when like you're caught up with everything else. Like I don't watch news for a reason. I just don't like the stuff that they talk about. I just feel like some of the things they talk about is just completely just unnecessary. You know, the news is the news, though. Unfortunately, it's like the crimes. I love them. I love when they talk about that. But like all the random things they need to talk. I just feel like the news puts more fear out there than they actually should. You know, especially with, like the wars and all that. I feel like they put more fear out in the world than they necessarily should. But I know that's what it's for. You know, to give people news. But like, I just feel like they should be doing a little bit more cautiously because they need to remember that people get scared easily, especially when it comes to World War III almost breaking out and stuff like that. I don't know, man. It's probably a hot take that I probably get mad people get mad at for, but oh well. So I don't know, man. I'm gonna go ahead and end the recording here. So, okay, people on YouTube, this is what's getting, guys. I love you guys. Have a God bless day. Bye bye.